Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium with me, Bring It On. Let's speak to these fine gentlemen. Grumbles an unshaven man with a ruddy nose. He narrows his eyes at you, as if in recognition, then turns his head away.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't you call her Abigail?
Who is Abigail?
Uh-huh. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
He draws out a disgusting snort, then mumbles, waving a finger in your general direction.
You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk.
Who are you? What's your name?
Don't call her Abigail.
His eyes move around erratically, look in them hazy and unfocused. Then he says, where am I? What is this place?
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible.
Why shouldn't I call Abigail?
He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer.
Yeah, don't lean in here.
He waves his hand as if shooing you away, all the while murmuring something indecipherable.
Hey, I'm on an important official investigation. I demand you answer my questions.
The drunk man starts coughing a really disgusting, hacking cough.
Tell me about your friends. Point to the others.
Don't you fucking call her. Hear me? Abigail?
He glares at you. His voice trembles with every word, becoming ever weaker, and he whimpers in the end.
Don't call.
The man stammers, then slowly, his head nods off to the side, and he passes out, tongue dangling from his mouth.
Hey, Tequila!
A 30-something man clad in a two-piece Lycra TM tracksuit puts down his Pilsner and extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you?
How does he know that? Shake his hand.
So what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Wait, tequila.
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He takes a sip.
He says it like it's obviously your name, like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street Gang. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
Even more on that later. I want to know now. Yeah, I've re-entered reality to conquer it, to bend it to my will. I am the law.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image a long time ago. Those days are over now.
He looks at his crap-stained Lycra TM jacket with a grim expression.
Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom's spiral land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
He takes a sip from his beer.
Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
What do you guys do around here?
We are saving the world.
He looks at his comrades.
Please don't call.
Begs the man.
Don't call.
Whoops. Begs the man in the pipe.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
Could you and your pals sign this document? Show Everart's letter.
What's it about? I'll let my hand address the situation.
He waves his hand apathetically.
Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were. Anyone's got a pen? The pro's gonna do it.
He looks around. Yes, I have this green ape one. Lend him your pen.
All right.
He grabs the pen and paper carefully, scribbles on the dotted line next to Lillian's signature. Idiot Doom Spiral. Lillian didn't sign the paper. I need at least 2 signatures on the document.
Hey, Abs!
He shouts to the non-responsive drunk, still dribbling drool from the side of his mouth.
Hey, Abs! Abs!
He grabs his passed-out friend by the shoulder and shakes him a bit.
The man mumbles incoherently.
Hey! Goddamn Abigail is here. Wake up! Wake up!
His efforts get no response. I don't think he can help. He's completely out of it.
I'll be damned. That's what we have Rosemary for. You can help, right?
He points to the third drunkard.
Sure, I can fucking help. You need a signature. I got you a signature.
Jolly Man looks at you, then his friend in the tracksuit. Before he can reply, he's already furiously scribbling something on the paper. When he hands the document back to you, the signature in uppercase letters reads, "Don't call Abigail." Can I have the pen back too?
Fucking cops, man, always hassling the poor folk. You know what? I'm keeping a pen and that's the end of it.
I knew I was going to end up losing that here. I knew it as soon as the option to lend it popped up. He shakes his head. Did a great service to the village, to the RCM, and to Revachol.
Hey, guys. We're heroes.
He waves his hand erratically to the other guys.
About fucking time, man. I've done my duty.
He brings his hand up to the head for a salute, or to his head.
The incapacitated drunk lay there snoring like an ancient rusting tractor.
Anything else this merry band of adventurers can do for you? Or do you need to go and mail that serious-looking document of yours? I think I saw a mailbox near the plaza.
His face lightens up. A few more questions first.
Okay, what's on your mind?
What is a Tequila Sunset? You keep saying it.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset.
How do you know this?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
No.
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
He takes a sip from his beer.
Tequila. Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
Go ahead.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
He takes a big sip, then begins. Was I alone? Let's start with this one. Wait, did we meet on Friday?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting.
He takes another sip, then continues.
You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept if you ask me.
It is.
What happened then?
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this, we get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs. Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things."
Oh god, what happened next?
Your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Wait, so is Tequila Sunset an event or a name?
I'm not sure. I think you were the event. Tequila Sunset. You know, as opposed to a tequila sunrise, which is long gone.
Yeah, my real name is Harry.
No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
How long did we party for?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Now that's a story.
It was the greatest thing this fishing village has seen since Rosemary tried to use a crab to open his beer.
Aye, that was a classic too.
Did I tell you anything specific about this person that screwed me?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Well, good for you, Rosemary.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Did I mention losing anything else?
Beside your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Did we say anything about the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
He takes a strong quaff of his beer. Did we talk about, politics?
Yeah, you said that you'd really behaved unreasonably and failed to uphold your responsibilities as a representative of the coalition.
Did you get a read on what kind of cop I was?
You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid."
That's a really good impression. I don't need to hear any more.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
He nods. You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Want to tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
He says, slapping his knee. Yes. Want to tell me how you became Idiot Doom Spiral?
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
Sure.
You might get scammed here.
What do you need?
Booze. Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier.
He taps his finger to his temple.
So, have you got anything for good old Idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
Here, I've got a potent pilsner.
Not much, but it will do.
He grabs the bottle from your hand, then corks it immediately.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
One of the other bums interjects. Gurgles the near comatose man.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know.
He turns to you.
I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Go on.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
That's right. Getting a good run-in's important to maintaining your physical and mental health. Speaking of, when's the last time you did your laps, pork chop?
Wait, how many people did you have working for you?
22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours.
Did the jogging help?
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
He says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his crap-stained pants. What happened?
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound.
His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
How wet are we talking exactly?
Wet, okay? It was raining really hard.
There's a trace of derision in his voice.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
Okay, so what happened next?
I rang my neighbors' buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
He pauses meaningfully.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
He takes a long swig of his drink. Wait, is that it? I feel like there are some steps missing.
Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
I'm almost homeless myself. Doesn't seem so bad.
The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is nice too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're wearing a shit-stained tracksuit and spending your days picking tear.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
What was the name of your agency?
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting.
He takes a long, melancholic sip.
I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
He looks toward the bay.
Sounds intriguing. What say you, Art Cop? If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
Man, mixing high and low, commodifying culture. That's extremely my stuff.
I know! It was fucking awesome! Too bad I went on a jog, unleashing a cascade of doom that washed it all away.
Takes a long, wistful sip of his beer. Now what's up with the tracksuit?
What? You've never seen 100% Lycra before? Go on, feel that primo material.
The man extends his arm. Touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
He takes another sip.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it. Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward to.
Yeah, but on the upside, I gain 10 experience and 2 money.
And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to think about that.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them anytime.
What about the other drunks?
My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? They're exactly what they look like.
Hey, Tequila! You want to buy some speed?
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
A gurgling sound comes from the direction of the non-responsive man.
And yeah, you're already acquainted with abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together.
He points to the man in the pipe. Now what's this about a lost jacket?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
He looks at you, bleary-eyed. You mean this jacket that I discovered on the boardwalk and had cleaned on a whim? The man examines the jacket for a moment, a look of consternation on his brow.
Nah, this isn't it. Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style.
So you're saying there's another lost jacket out there somewhere?
It's a big world out there, Tequila. Lot of lost jackets in it. Don't know why you'd think this could possibly be mine.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be caught dead wearing fawn, like some low-concept bicycle courier. Tell you what, Tequila. Why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket. Someday.
Have you got any more stories?
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift.
He spins the bottle in his hand. Not a single drop of liquid remains. I don't have any on me right now.
Cottonmouth is keeping my tongue imprisoned.
He shrugs his shoulders dramatically. I want to hear the story of your name again.
What's in a name?
He looks up to the sky as if pondering the question, then turns back to you.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
One of the other bums interjects.
Shut up, guys. I was once a reasonable... I used the... I
Alright, so I
developed...
clicked this real
Speaking
fast.
22... It did. But now, one day I...
His eye.
So I was halfway wet. I made my... Naturally, the situation... Ouch. So I made my way across... I ran... People are now...
Heavy.
Just then. But when I... Anyway. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
Alright, look on the bright side. You got one hell of a story.
Yeah. Maybe I've exaggerated certain parts over the years. When you tell a story too often, it begins to take on a life of its own. But what matters is that it's true to my subjective experience. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you.
He looks at it.
Almost empty,
Oh.
this one.
Truly, he has the soul of an artist.
Hey, different option gave me more experience. Alright, be seeing you.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Alright, so I assume we didn't get a, Oh, here we go. So let's see. Inside are some legal documents which have been, in a very shaky handwriting, signed by the members of the Union of Morbid Alcoholics. I think we have to mail this off, don't we? Yeah, put it in the mailbox.
Anna Van Eyck. Okay, so Egghead is clearly not Van Eyck in disguise. Van Eyck is an Oranese disc jockey, but those people get around, especially in Revachol, in the clubs on Boogie Street. Perhaps he stayed here for a short stint and discarded part of the song he was working on, just threw it away, and then it ended up in the hawthorn tree. But why? Did he think it was retrograde? It wasn't. Perhaps he caught a glimpse of the future and did not want for it to arrive just yet. Perhaps the city whispered the top line to him, and he was frightened by it.
All Motorix white checks unlocked. Reveals Arno Van Eyck gig posters in the world. Wonder what those do. We did level up, so I can get rid of... I think this one. Because I don't tend to fail, and I don't want to fail. Like this rewards failure. I'm going to get rid of this. And bringing the Lawjaw. -1 rhetoric. It takes almost 3 hours to research. We'll figure it out. So we unlocked interfacing. All these are unlocked for tomorrow. Let's see. Church doors, wash bin, wash basin. Oh, I think this is in the house. I'm going to call it here. In the next episode, I'll speak to the last drunk, and then we'll probably just go to bed. I don't think there's anyone else to talk to on this side of the waterlock, besides the children, who aren't out at nighttime, and the cryptozoologist and his partner, who I don't want to talk to until we have Kim in the party. So yeah, we'll talk to the last drunk. It'll be about 2 a.m. at that point anyway. We'll go to sleep. I could sleep in the new house, but I kind of want to sleep in the Whirling in Rags so that we can find Kim more easily in the morning. Though sleeping in our new house, or our new room, I guess, might have a unique interaction with Kim. So like, oh, where were you? Oh, I was sleeping over in this house. I don't know. I'll decide next time. Either way, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.